Good morning. It is my 1 month update of doing the diet that I always talk about on Instagram, on YouTube Shorts, on TikTok. And it's my goal with this series to show you that these things that I talk about really did help me 2 years ago when I was first going through GERD, fatty liver disease, Barrett's esophagus, gastritis. I had a cyst on my brain my entire life, a cyst on my liver, hypertension, prediabetes, candida. All these things started to get better once I started eating all natural whole food and changing my lifestyle. So if you haven't seen the first video, it's on my playlist called my 52-week progress update. And I'm going to do one video every single week in regards to this. And I'm excited to see what today's update is. Not even really 1 month in. $182.2, still going down. All right, let's do a check in the mirror. Okay, getting some definition back over here. All right, let's see. The gut has definitely went down, but I still have one a little bit, so that means I got some visceral fat that I got to burn. And I see a little bit of subcutaneous fat here that still needs to go, so we'll go to the gym, and I'll show you what I do in regards to getting that visceral fat off and burning a little bit of belly fat. But yeah, we're definitely getting some definition. That's a dub. If you lose a pound every single week for an entire year, you will lose 52 pounds. Now, that is a lot of weight. So just think, for every pound that you add on top of that, that's another 52 pounds. So you can go from 52 pounds to 104 pounds. Now, as you've seen in my hiatal hernia video, I've got a routine that I do for that. So I wanted to weigh myself before starting that. So let's go down to the kitchen. She's ready to go to the bathroom. Okay, so the idea is to take 2 glasses of warm water, drink it down, get some weight on my stomach, and then stand on my toes, and then drop down. And the whole thing is, you get your stomach filled up with water. It's going to act like a weight, and then the warm water is going to loosen up all the muscles around the diaphragm and everything. And in theory, when you hit your heels really hard, you're going to push that back down to where it's supposed to be, and then we got to start trying to train the diaphragm to close up so it doesn't allow the stomach to come back up. Something that I like to do is add some of this right here to your water. Very good for you. Add 2 milliliters to this. 2. So you just stand on your toes, and then alright, so I've done that, and now I'm going to show you the other thing. Again, I got a whole video that I did up there. This is where we find the xiphoid process, which is that piece of cartilage right in between your rib cage. And then we're going to move left of that and massage clockwise for just a little bit. Go down to where you feel that little piece of cartilage right there, right at the bottom, and then go to the left, right under the rib cage, and just start massaging. Press as much as you can handle, and then just do that. You can put a little castor oil. Sometimes I do that as well. Now I'm going to do the other one. All you do is you go, we're trying to strengthen the diaphragm now. So that is a muscle. It kind of looks like a parachute. It's right there, and it separates your lungs from your abdomen. So you just go, it's a thin piece of muscle that goes all the way up through there. So we want to strengthen that. So I'm going to go right underneath the rib cage and then just massage back and forth. So now we're going to do the breathing exercise, and hopefully, in theory, the idea is we got the stomach down. Now we're trying to tighten and strengthen the muscle. Now you just put one hand right there below the rib cage, one hand here, and then this hand you don't want to move. The only one you want to move is the one that's down here. So you're breathing right here through your diaphragm and everything. Through your nose, out your mouth. So now I'm going to go do my morning devotionals, and then I'm going to head to the gym. I'm going to show you something that I did before I go to the gym. This helps keep you from eating too much. Just to grab the steaks out of the freezer. That way they're frozen right now, so I won't be able to eat these until a little bit later in the evening. I did that so I don't overeat. That way I could just eat my steak and eggs and I'll be good for the day. The intermittent fasting and the prolonged fasting is what's contributing the most to my weight loss. But once you fuel your body with the right food, you get the right amount of sleep, everything starts to get better. It is absolutely freezing in Virginia, but I tell you what, man, cannot beat those mountains. Absolutely beautiful, covered in snow. Still prefer the warmer weather though. Now there's a few things that people do wrong at the gym that keeps them having heartburn. It keeps upsetting the hiatal hernia if you have one, and it interferes with your weight loss, and I'll show you a couple of those when I'm over here. I had symptoms for a very long time, even after eating right, because I was doing these things. Finish this in the comments for me if you stayed this far in the video. Country road, take me home. So I want to show you the difference in burning that subcutaneous fat that I was talking about a minute ago. And that is that fat that you see on the outside. It's the same machine, but just a different way you use it burns two different types of fat. If you don't know the difference in visceral fat and subcutaneous fat, and I want to put a picture up right here and explain it. See, subcutaneous fat is the fat that's on the outside of your abdominal muscles that you can physically see on the outside. But there is a term called skinny fat too, and that's when you got a lot of subcutaneous fat. And what that is the fat that's on the inside of your abdomen muscles, and they are it's putting a lot of pressure on your organs and everything like that. So the more visceral fat you have, the more health conscious you need to be, because it puts a lot of strain on your heart, puts a lot of strain on your stomach. Therefore, I believe that contributed a lot to my hiatal hernia and my reflux. So I've noticed that the lower my weight is and the lower my gut is, the less reflux symptoms that I have. Now I want to show you a little bit of things that you probably need to stay away of if you have a hiatal hernia as far as weightlifting goes in the gym, because it puts strain on your stomach area. So now we're going to slowly go up, and we're going to do a short burst of energy. Now I can't go as hard as I can during the 40-yard dash during summer. Just go as hard as you can. So that's the difference. You get your heart going crazy. I don't know why it works, but trust me, it does. I'll show you something else I do. Now I'm going to hit a little bit of traps and shoulders. You don't have to do this part. I forgot to mention that I'm doing all this in a fasted state. I haven't ate anything in probably 17 hours. Too heavy. That's one thing about the weightlifting. If you try to be macho and you're not having the right range of motion, you're not going to train the muscle. Now, for demonstration purposes, this is one of the ones you don't want to do if you have hiatal hernia. A few reasons. With your feet up like this, it's going to create a lot of strain right there. And when you do an exercise like this, I don't have weight on it right now, but you're really going to put a lot of pressure on your abdomen, especially if you do the right range of motion. And that's just one that I would really stay away from. Once I started doing this a different way, I got a lot better results without all the burping you get. Here's a better option for you. Again, I don't have weight on this right now, but you're up in the air, so your stomach is pointing down, all that pressure ain't really coming back up. But when you go back down, you still got a lot of pressure on your abdomen, but you can really control it a lot better with your legs. So make sure if you're doing this, concentrate your legs working and don't squeeze your abdomen as much. How's it going, buddy?
Good. Are you on this?
No, sir, no, you go right ahead.
I just seen the weights on it, so I might be able to lift it.
Oh yeah, you go right ahead, buddy. Here's another one you really want to stay away from. The bend over rows. because you're leaning over, it pushes acid back up through there, puts a lot of pressure on your stomach. No weights on this because I know to stay away from it right now. Here's a better option to work your back and your shoulders. Just get you two of these, or the bar will work. So instead of leaning over, you're sitting straight up, stomach still down, acid hopefully not coming up. I will say that I do take my medicine also before coming here. So, all right, just hold it out like that, and then use your back and your shoulders to pull the weight back. Try not to strain your stomach. I know it's hard, but it is possible. Now I'm gonna call it a day in here. Again, you don't have to do the weightlifting part, but the HIIT workouts, it really don't take much. It's going as hard as you can for short periods of time. That really burns that visceral fat. And I think that, along with fasting, is one of the biggest contributors to my weight loss so far. And now, here's a mistake I used to make at the gym too. One of them that I was telling you about earlier. And that is thinking that you need one of these right here. Let me show you what's wrong with this. 40 grams of protein, right? Look at that ingredients list. Then God forbid you drink one of these. 200 milligrams of caffeine. Now, if you deal with anxiety like I did, a lot of it was induced by caffeine and I had no idea. So once I lowered the caffeine, it started getting better. But yeah, all that ingredients list, that caffeine, see, caffeine relaxes the esophageal sphincter, which allows acid to come back up. So if you do strenuous workouts and stuff like that, and you have caffeine on top of it, it's a recipe for disaster. So I'm gonna head back home and get something ready to eat. That right there is easily my favorite view of the mountains. Check on the steak since we got home. Yeah, see, it works every single time. Now I'm ready to eat. I don't know if you could tell or not, but do you think I like sweet potatoes? So before I make the steak, I want to put one of these in the oven for about an hour and 15 minutes, something like that, on 325 degrees. That's the best texture that I've found that I really enjoy. So I want to give this time before I start the steak, and then while I'm waiting on this, I want to make a cup of my favorite tea. So just get a glass of water. Now, as you know, if you know my story by now, I had fatty liver disease, GERD, and all these things, and these are my two favorite teas right here to combine together. Dandelion root and leaf, and throat coat tea with slippery elm. There's all kinds of different versions of this. I'm going to link them down below and in the pinned comment. And that right there are things that I actually use, and it'll be under health and wellness. I'll never promote something that I do not try myself. Just get you one of these. Now the reason that I really like this one, again, I'm in a fasted state right now. I'm going on 19 hours. And this puts a temporary protective layer of mucus around your stomach and your esophagus. Now your esophagus normally has that. And over the years, if you have GERD or something like that, LPR, that has been damaged so much that it starts to burn the tissue that it was supposed to be protecting. So this adds a temporary layer of that back. So I like to do it when I'm fasted. I like to do it before bed. I do this, 3 times a week, usually a Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But it's not bedtime yet. It's only like 5 something, and I'm going to go ahead and have some of this. Just because it's cold outside, I just want to make sure I don't get sick. She good. I just let that steep for 2 or 3 minutes, and then it's good to drink. All right, Carol, you told me to keep cooking, so this one's for you. All right, so we got us another steak. Today I'm just going to go with the mineral salt. Not really going to do turmeric or anything like that because I drank that throat coat tea earlier. And, I just don't want to overdo the turmeric. But red and real salt. Link in description and first pinned comment. Kerrygold butter. Look at that. Just going to take that, put it right on there. Pour some of that salted butter on there. And we're ready to eat. Gonna add some sauerkraut. I'm all out of that, so I'm just gonna pour a little bit of that on top of the steak. Perfection. Can't beat that. So that's it for this one. Month 1 was a huge success, and I'm looking forward to month 2. So if you're interested in that, make sure you click that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell. That way you're notified every single time that I upload a video, and we will see where this goes from here. So Friday, I got some beef bones here from the ribs I made the other day. I'm going to be making some bone broth. So if you want to see that video, subscribe. If you stayed this far in the video, please say I stayed to the end, and that will let me know that these videos really interest you and that it's helping people. So with that being said, I will see you in the next video.